Good evening, everybody. This is the This is the City of Clear Lake Shores City Council regular meeting, October 18th at 2022 at 6:30 p.m. All council members are present. Item number 2, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the Texas flag. Item number 3 is reports from council. Councilman Steve Wardis.
I have nothing to report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wardis. Councilman Rick Fisher.
We had a meeting with Parks and Pool last night, which, again, Chris, I apologize for being fashionably late on that, but it's a better late than never. I'll let her give you the full update on everything that was discussed. One of the big things that just came out, I guess everybody's looking forward to working with the new admin to hopefully get some of the issues and funding and stuff done for Parks and Pool.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Councilwoman Monica Leday.
Nothing new to report on STRs. We are in the process of finalizing all the changes, and we'll present it to the attorneys and council in the upcoming month.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Leday. Councilman Alex Scanlon.
No report. Roads and Drainage meets on the 20th, which is Thursday of this week, if anyone's interested.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Scanlon. Mayor Pro Tem Randy Chronister.
Nothing to report. Welcome to the room, David, our new interim chief.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chronister. And Mayor report, just hope to see everybody out at the barbecue cook-off this weekend. It looks like we're going to have some great weather. I think we got 15 briskets going on just for the public and a lot of other activities going on. So hopefully it's going to be a great one and raise a lot of money for school finances and stuff like that and scholarships. Item number 4, welcome our new police interim chief, David Donaldson.
Got it. Mayor, Council, we had 4 officers qualify this morning. Everything's good. We're back to where we need to be. Starting the 24th, the new shift assignments will take in place. We're going back to 2/8s and 2/12s. We get more coverage and more officers on the street together at the same time doing that. Also, to our visitor mayor that is conducting an inquiry of the situation that we have. He's about half through. He's about half through with his, I'm going to say he's got 4 officers today, and tomorrow he's coming back, so you'll see a lot of traffic in and out with the officers. Also, too, Ms. Bowell there took pictures for our calendar. I'm going to go through the pictures today, and I'll forward them to where they need to be, and we'll get that started ASAP.
She took pictures of the police, right? Not of her. Because that's...
Well, there's probably a couple. Yeah, that's all I have, Mayor. Council.
All right, and I believe you also promoted 2 officers, and we're going to get that announcement out through the web here soon, but you can...
Yes, we promoted the corporal and Nathan Shemansky. He was our OIC, the officer in charge for the last couple years. They both got promoted yesterday to the rank of sergeant. Both of them are incredible, very friendly people, and they know what they're doing. I'm very proud of them.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate that, and then congratulations to those 2 for that. All right, next is on the committee report, Parks and Pool. Yes, please.
Oh, thank you. I walked off and left all my notes. We had a committee meeting last night. I walked off and left all my notes at home. We discussed updates for the parks. Actually, they all look pretty good. The 2 fishing docks at Jarbo, now both monofilament line boxes are installed at the end of the docks. Sundial looked great. Jarbo was pretty good. There are some issues with the trash cans at Depot and the boat ramp that they're overflowing with trash on the weekends, and I was gonna give a suggestion for that down at another item. And Christmas decorations, of course, is our big endeavor here for every Christmas. And I do have a list of some items and some funds needed, but I'm gonna go over that with Kurt, so we can work that out. And we discussed continuing discussion of the new gate code entry system for the pool. We've been discussing it for about 3 years. I know some years in there the budget was a little tight, so we discussed that. Would like to see it move forward. We definitely need a better security system. We had one bid that included City Hall, the clubhouse, and the pool, but it wasn't broken out for just the pool. I have some other sources for some quotes, and I'll also go over that with Kurt. On the trash overflowing, if we'd be willing to, on the weekends, if we see trash flowing all over, we'd be willing to actually change out some of those trash cans, if maybe city could provide us with some trash bags, and as we're driving around, thought that might help. 'Cause once they're all over the ground, it's really hard to pick up, and it makes a real mess when Monday comes along. I think that's everything that was covered. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Wurst.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
With regard to, the parks over here at Jarbo and stuff, and I'm not sure whose responsibility it would be. I've noticed that we used to have small, very discreet, no fishing signs right along over here where it's extremely shallow, where it's all oyster shells and stuff like that. And maybe they've been pulled up deliberately, maybe they've been destroyed accidentally by the lawn care or the people that mow. But I've noticed the absence of those signs, so all of a sudden I've seen people fishing, and of course, with that, you're gonna get lines snagged,
Right.
and then it's gonna be a hazard for the birds and everything else.
So I had ordered new ones for the no parking down at the or golf cart parking only at the Shell Bottom Park, and to see how they came out, and I think they look good. I don't know if anybody else has any input, but I was gonna order about 10 more with the no fishing and put the ordinance on the bottom of it, in small print, and put those back up around Jarbo Park.
I forgot to mention that the no parking, no overnight parking signs did get up at the lot there by the pool, and they look really good. They're on that green screen there that's on that fencing by the yard where the guys work.
Yep.
Those look really good. There were some no fishing signs, and to tell you the truth, I don't know what's happened to them.
Yeah, I think the weed eaters got them, lawnmowers. Yeah, so we'll get 10 of those ordered and get those placed back up there.
Okay, thanks for mentioning that.
Give us a couple weeks. Good
Thank you
question.
for being a step ahead.
Roads and drainage.
I don't think we've met since the last update, since we met early the previous month. We're meeting tomorrow. We're going over RFPs for 6 or 8 drainage projects and other small roads projects that we've all been writing, and we'll be passing those along to the city once we get them done.
What happened with Narcissus? I thought that was supposed to be part of Blue Point.
So that was the road after Blue Point. We're just doing one at a time. We're writing an RFP for that. We'll be going over it tomorrow, so that whoever at the city is getting bids has something to go off of rather than them having to write it or us outsource it to an extremely expensive
No, I think we could
place.
probably handle it in-house.
Yeah, so we should be giving something like that to y'all for every project we want to do, so the legwork is done. So it's just needs a final look before it can be put to bid.
Yep.
But that's on the list next.
The more it looks like an RFP, the easier it'll be for me.
That's the idea.
All right, thanks. Zoning Board of Adjustments.
Mayor and council, no report for zoning board of adjustments or planning and zoning.
Thank you, Mr. Michalski. Waterfront Compliance Committee. Ed? Nothing? Looks good and all the waterfront leases are paid. Yes, they did. All the waterfront leases were paid on time.
How are we doing on
On the-
getting the
yeah, on
leases
the lease.
updated? I know that was redlined and we haven't met
I
since.
have it, and then the lawyer has it, and I'm waiting for their send back, and then Christie will put it out for approval. Yes, and we can have another meeting to review those. Yes. Okay. One more workshop. We'll figure out when we'll do that. And we had like 6 months left before that has to get out.
I thought it was the beginning of the year. I think it's February, technically. Yeah, February.
Okay. We're out of time. Yep, I got it. All right, next is Civic Club. Nope. Just walk across the front.
Okay. So as Kurt said, we have the barbecue cook-off this weekend. The Civic Club will be cooking 15 briskets, and we'll be serving to the public, selling from 12 to 2. Then November 12th is the Thanksgiving dinner that will be held here. The Civic Club, we just voted and approved and purchased a new refrigerator for the kitchen because we barely passed inspection last year for Thanksgiving dinner. So we did just purchase a new refrigerator. So
That's great to hear. This everybody thanks you for getting the new refrigerator. It's about $6,000. So. All right, next is item 7, CLS 60th Anniversary Celebration Committee.
we are getting through the barbecue cook-off, and then we will start talking about that.
All right, thank you. Item number 8, Economic Development Corporation.
Howdy. Hard to follow brisket and Thanksgiving, but we had a regular EC meeting last Tuesday, and we approved to partially fund paving for the city-owned and Plaza 10 parking lots. So I'm sure there's a whole lot of steps that need to be done before anything happens there. But the idea is we may be coming to Plaza 10 and putting it on the agenda and seeing if there's any funds available, and possibly roads and drainage. But we did approve as much as the EDC felt comfortable for our portion. We have 4 openings or 4 positions coming up in terms ending in 3 applications, I believe 3 applications, aside from the 4 that are coming up. So I think that's 7 total. So I think that's the most interest in applications we've had for the EDC in a while, which is really good. And that's it. We'll have our next meeting on the 2nd Tuesday of November, and at that time we will select our officers after City Council selects board members. So
Alright, thank you, Johnny.
Thanks.
Alright, next is item 9, public comments. At this time, any person with city-related business may speak to the city council. Topic of discussion must be consistent with an item listed on the agenda in compliance with the Texas Open Meeting Act. City council may not deliberate. Comments from the public should be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per individual. Yes, Mr. Young.
Howdy. Is that too loud? I'm loud by nature. Good evening, Mayor, Council. I just wanted to ask, I know you're not supposed to ask a question, so let me rephrase. I wanted to state I would love to see an update on 515 Clear Lake Road. It continues to violate an ordinance that's been in place now for a couple of years. I mean, I live right next door. Every weekend, they have people there. During the week, they have people there. A couple weeks ago, there was 12 cars, I think, and they were blocking access to my driveway. On the other side, they were parked out on Clear Lake Road, and I would just love to see an update soon, if we can get one. And I know this isn't the place to ask a question, but I'd love to see one. Thank you.
Yes, Christie, can you send me a reminder to talk to Jason on that? And then, 2, could you, next time you experience an issue or concern with that, give PD through dispatch a call so they could come out, or you could talk to Mr. Chief Donaldson and he'd be happy to help you out. Thanks. Yes.
Evening, Mayor and Council. The issue I bring up tonight, or the question, it's a little sensitive. The house on Grove, we happened to be over there the other day with our granddaughter at the park, and it was a tragic event that happened there in the shooting. But I noticed that the house is boarded up. I'm not quite sure where what the city can do. I don't know what's going on with the people that are related to that, but I don't want it to get to a point that it comes to some of the other houses that we've had on the island. I notice it's boarded up. Halloween's coming. I don't want kids getting in there thinking, remembering the tragedy and thinking it's going to be something cool and somebody get hurt. So I just wanted to bring that up. I know we're shy city administrator, but kind of put that on the agenda, or the task list for the new person to look at, to make sure that we kind of see where we're going to go with that property, so it doesn't get down into worse condition than it is. Thank you.
Thank you, and that's another item for Mr. Jason to take a look at.
Do you mind if I respond, Patrick? So I've been collecting his mail, and I've been reaching out to his family, handing them the mail and everything. I have a contact. I don't know if it's the right contact to ask these type of questions to, but his mail was basically flowing out of his box, so I started collecting it and reaching out to them and everything. So if y'all need a contact, if anyone, PD, council, anybody needs a contact, I can provide that.
Yeah, please give me a call or Jason.
Okay.
Thank you. Ed?
Ed Waters. I was at the EDC meeting last week, and the amount that was told to pave the parking lot there on the corner was $300,000 or better. I was just wondering, do we need to do that? I mean, the parking lot seems to be sufficient as it is. I mean, we make changes later. I mean, you never know what's going to happen on that corner. I mean, one of the comments was, if we pave that parking lot, we could probably sell it for $1 million. I'm thinking, that's the last thing we need.
Yep.
So.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, public comments are closed. Item 10, consent agenda. Any items want to be pulled by council? Having none, any objections to accepting the consent agenda? Items A, B, and C. Having none, motion passes to accept that. Item number 11, new business discussion and possible action may be taken on the following items. Item A is appoint 2 representatives to the Harris Galveston Area Council, 1 representative and 1 official alternate for the year 2023. Our current representation is Mr. Scanlon and Ms. Leday. You were the primary.
I thought I was the primary.
You were. Yeah.
Okay.
So strike that. Monica is the primary and Alex was the alternate.
Make a motion, we keep them the same.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Cronister, second by Ms. Leday to keep them the same, which would be Ms. Leday as the primary and Mr. Scanlon as the alternate. Any discussion? Alright, any discussion? None? All in favor, aye? Any opposed? None? Having none, motion passes. Alright, item B is resolution 2022-09, a resolution of City Council of the City of Clear Lake Shores, Texas, establishing authorized signers for checks issued by the City of Clear Lake Shores. And again, like Plaza 10, this removes Mr. Spear, and I believe we're adding David Donaldson as interim police chief.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution 2022-09.
A second.
Motion by Mr. Fisher, second by Ms. Leday. Any discussion? Having none, all in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Having none, the motion passes. Item C is summary, discussion, and increased cost for procurement of 5G LTE technology router system and outfitting of the 7 PD vehicles. So I've come up to speed on wireless routers more than I've ever wanted. Thank you, Mr. Donaldson. And I learned a lot, and Mr. Birchfield is here too, he can help me out. But basically, off the top of my head, when we approved the body cameras and the cameras in the vehicles through Motorola, it was $129K on a 5-year lease plan. What actually we received was for $109K on a 5-year lease plan, but it did not include the 5G or any wireless routers. Talking to the program manager with Motorola, they can't go back and change that. To go and create another 5-year lease for just the wireless routers seemed a lot of work, and I haven't really even tried to go down that road. And what we did receive is 2 estimates. One for 4G, which basically gives us the uploading speed that we need in order to take care of our files from the videos as the officers drive around the city. And that way they don't have to sit underneath the police station and upload through our wired system. The 5G does the same thing but even faster, but also allows for the future of the League City Consortium and the Galveston County Consortium to be joined in. It also includes a lot of other things with the video, but everything stays together, combined in the car. So it's a router for all the electronic devices in there. It has all the LTE technology, and then the 5G is the future of our wireless networks going forward. So in your packet, there was the bid. The one for the 5G is $17.5K, and the 4G was $9.2K. And I'm asking for approval for the going ahead and go with the 5G. Or recommending the 5G, so that way the police force has the most up-to-speed released equipment in their vehicles, and it'll be a one-time payment for that, so that way it'll take care of the routers. There's a third party that comes in and removes the old routers, which we may be able to auction off. I don't know if we'll get any money for those, but they install the new ones in there, and that's all included in this turnkey bid. And then our current situation with Motorola would be for remain at $109,000, and that would reduce it down to around $7K. I think it was about $21K a year for 5 years.
If I understood you correctly, the initial bid was $129,000 on a 5-year plan,
Yes,
and then it was bid at $109,000 for 5 years.
yes,
So that's a $20,000 differential.
yes,
And this is $17,500.
yes. So it is less, but since the minutes state both the total price and the annual price, I couldn't approve it from my stance. And that's why I'm bringing it back to council.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with you on the 5G because Lord knows when they'll make the 4G obsolete. And
we do own all the SIM cards already. They will be coming out of the existing cars, and we already have the airdrop time.
So I'm just curious, how was this, why was this not included in the original bid if it's something that was gonna be needed? I mean, how did it come up separately? I'm just kinda curious about that.
I don't know. I can't answer that. OBE.
So are we gonna own these routers, or is this a separate 5-year lease on these as well?
No, that we'll own these, and I do need a motion, cause we're discussing.
Yeah.
A motion?
I make a motion to approve, the purchase of the 5G routers.
I'll second.
Motion by Mrs. Day, second by Ms. Scanlon, discussion.
So basically.
We own them?
Yes, we will own these outright when they get delivered and put into place in the vehicles.
So the overall cost is still less, it's just more upfront on year one.
That's correct.
We have room in the budget to do this?
Well, we're gonna use the PD discretionary funds.
Already taking your money, didn't you?
Well, we did, I mean, I know the vehicles things and there's some wash there, but there was also the personal watercrafts that we sold, the Hummer, so there's a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of income, but there's some revenue that helps absorb this.
Yeah, I think doing 4G is silly.
Well, we just purchased a lot of new equipment that's state of the art. We might as well get what we need to use it, whether, you know, now and in the future, instead of just buying something to get us through for sure. So, I think we need to move forward.
I agree.
And this is for 7, is that for the 7 new vehicles, or I guess we had 6 new vehicles and 7?
Five new vehicles and 2 that are patrol cars. And just also add to it, the League City Consortium, I don't know if you ever had a chance to take a look at that. We're part of the Galveston County, I'll get this confused, so step in wherever I mess up. But, Citizens to Police, C2P or P2C? P2C. Police2Citizens.com. So, that's a consortium that all comes together and it controls everything with all the police vehicles, fire apparatuses and assets and all that stuff, and makes everything communicate together, and that's the new future, so everybody can talk to each other. It's part of the fallout of 9/11 and making sure that folks don't step on top of each other when there's emergency. It also shows where every single police car is inside of it'd show it wherever it is on the map, as long as and it tells you whether the car is stopping somebody, whether they're getting out and doing a normal ticket and all that stuff, and it lets the other officers know that type of information. It's pretty awesome. Okay. Alright, no further discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, nay? Having none, the motion passes. And item number 12 is adjournment at 6:59.